Hello everyone. Today I'm just going to be walking you through how I use Honeybook and basically all the amazing things that it does for me as a photographer. Okay, to start off, I just want to note that the year that I fully started using Honeybook, I was able to quadruple my income, and honestly, I feel like this is the reason. It made booking and organizing things so easy that I honestly kind of overbooked myself. But let's just start off with the homepage. So this is your dashboard. So when you log into your Honeybook, this is what you're going to see. So any new projects or projects with activity will be here. And a project is just what you create for each new photo shoot or whatever service you're providing. And you also have like a little notification bell here. So if you have a new inquiry or something you need to do in your project, you'll see it here. But I've already dealt with all of that this morning. Here is where you will see what you have this week. If you had a wedding or a session or whatever, you would see it here. These are your tasks. So you can set up tasks in each project. So for example, if you're a wedding photographer, you might want to send them like a questionnaire before the wedding. So you'll see that you need to do that in here, but you can also automate it. We'll get to that in a bit. Here is the payments that you have received or like overdue payments. They'll be right here. I just want to make a very important note about this. So these are your reports. And when I first started using Honeybook, I thought that this was my income for the year, so what I had made, but this isn't that. So this restarts every January for me, the counting, and this is what you've sent out in proposals. So I book things at least a year in advance. So let's say I sent out 10 weddings at $3,100. So that would be the total here. But let's say that I was shooting those weddings next year. So I'm not even receiving that income this year. I'm receiving it next year. So this is just the proposed amount of income I've sent out this year. It doesn't mean that that's what you're making this year. So just be very cautious of that. Don't spend more than you're making because you think that you're have a higher income than you don't. This is just what I've sent out at this time this year. And also I'd like to add, anything that you sent out the prior year isn't going to show up here, so you have to keep track of that separately. You can go through your finance tab and figure it all out, but I do recommend having like QuickBooks or an accountant just to keep track of those things. So this is just what you've sent out. This is not your income. Also, top lead source, Google. So if you click on your projects, you can see just all of your projects and the stages that they're at. And then under tools, so this is the most important tab. So the template section is what you're going to spend a lot of time in when you first get Honeybook. You're going to want to create a template for your brochures, a template for your proposals, your invoices, your contracts. That way, every time you send one of those things out to a client, you don't have to create a new one. You're just reusing the same template over and over and over again, but you can make them really on brand and beautiful, which is the best part of Honeybook. This is your library, so this is just where all your like photos and things are stored. Automations, also very important. This is where I automate all of my projects. So my weddings are under one automation, my sessions are under one automation. This is your calendar, and then refer and earn. This is like such a nice part of Honeybook. So you can refer your friends if you love it and earn some money. They usually have some different like promos, but yeah, I really love that about it because I do recommend Honeybook a lot of the time, so it's nice to kind of make some money off of it. So here you have your scheduler. So I personally don't use this, But if I were booking meetings, like if I was a podcast and I wanted to, or my guest to book in for a podcast episode, I would use this. So you can just set up like times on any day, and then people can go onto your website. You just copy it onto your website and just choose a time. Your tasks, self-explanatory, just things you need to do. A time tracker, I also don't use this, but if you'd like to know like how much you're working just to see, I think that is helpful. I should probably start using that. And then reports, this is all really great. The finance section, this is basically just like the money that you've made, the taxes you owe, all of those things, your payments, you want to make sure people are paying you. Expenses, I don't use this because I use QuickBooks, but it would be very handy if I didn't have QuickBooks. Okay, so contact form, also very important. You can create different contact forms for different things. So when I was running mini sessions, I would have a separate contact form for that because there were more specific questions. A Chrome extension if you use Chrome. Batch emails, this is really cool if you want to create like an email list, or if you just want to send an email out to everyone if you have a sale going on, something like that. I think that's cool. And then gift cards. And then if you just click see more, opportunities is like things going on in your area that you might want to get in on. Like I've had people message me about styled shoots, people I've never worked with before, but we connect over Honeybook, business directory, Honeybook Pro. So what I'm going to do, instead of like walking you through each of these, I'm going to go to my website. I'm going to fill out a contact form as if I am a client, and then I'm going to show you how I use Honeybook to deliver to that client. So let's go do that. Okay, so I just wanted to go into the contact form section of Honeybook and show you. So this is my contact form, but your website provider will probably provide you with a contact form, but the great thing about using the Honeybook contact form is that anyone who fills this out is going to automatically have a project created in Honeybook, so you don't have to input all the information from your email or from your website into Honeybook. It'll already be there. So if you wanted to copy this onto your website, you just click publish, and then you just copy the code and put it in a HTML thingy on your website. So that is easy, and you can like do different designs. You can change the color and the font. There's actually a lot of things you can do within Honeybook that I haven't did yet, but it just shows you like how extensive it is. Like it really just goes on and on. So here's my website. So I'm gonna fill it out really quickly. Literally seconds after I've sent it in, and you can see that I have a new inquiry. So you can either go to here and check it from your notifications, or you can just click on it. So I'm just going to click on it. I have it automated that this photo goes into each project. I did this like many years ago. This is one of my first wedding photos. So it has the client here, and you can add more people if you need to, like if they have a spouse that you want to receive all the emails. Here is the info that I filled out on that contact form. It's all right here. And then I have an automation that when somebody reaches out to me, an email goes out to them just to make sure they know that I've received their inquiry. And you can see right here, it's called intro email. So every single project that's created gets this email. So what I would do next when I have a wedding inquiry is I'm going to go create new, and then I'm going to click brochure and click wedding brochure. And as you can see, you have these little tabs that you can kind of create a little experience for them to go through as they're looking at their prices. So a little introductory with me, what we offer, they get to see some of our images, the actual package. Then they have my associate collection, and then some add-ons, tips and tricks. I have some more information about weddings, and then the next steps. So I would click next, review email, and then I'm going to go to my templates. I'm going to choose wedding inquiry. It says 2021, but it's old. And then I'm just automating an email that I have already pre-written. I just have to add their spouse's name in there. and then I send that off. So let's send it. Okay, so you can see now that I've sent my email out, and the really nice thing is you can see if they've read it. So if I send an email out and somebody reads it and doesn't respond in a day or two, I just assume that they're probably not going to respond, and I can just archive the project. Okay, so after they respond to this email, it will just be sent to their email inbox. So after that, I'm going to, let's say they respond and say, yep, ready to book. I'm going to create new again. Then I have my proposal. So inside my proposal, I have an invoice and a contract. So I don't have to send those things separately. Down to 2022 wedding proposal. And it looks like this. You can already have your packages saved in here so that you don't have to add them, but I just add them because it's easy. Sometimes people want to customize them. Type in my classic collection, add that in, so then they have all the information right in there, so they get to see the service that they're getting. And then you have the payment schedule here. So I have it so that you pay your retainer on the day that I send this to you, and then the remaining balance on the day of your wedding. But you can customize this. You can create payment plans, whatever you want to do. Go down to your contract that they can sign. Okay, and then we're just going to go to the email and send it off. So now they can go on and pay their invoice and sign their contract and everything right in there. And then I'm gonna delete this automation, which was my intro email. I'm gonna click on this, and I'm gonna add my wedding workflow automation, which I created. Now you're gonna see when they sign their contract and pay their retainer, they're gonna get an email from me that says, you're booked, and I don't have to do anything. I do not have to reach out to them one time before their wedding because it's already done for me. Okay, so smart files are a bit different than legacy files. I'm a little bit behind. I'm still using legacy files, but smart files, you can create an even better experience for your client. But smart files creates like an even better experience, but it's a bit more work. So I just haven't did it yet. Like the legacy files are working for me, but smart files are really great. I feel like I haven't even really touched on everything that Honeybook does. I just love that everything is in one place. So it makes things just so easy. Every morning I get on, I check my Honeybook, and then I don't have to worry about it again until the next day. And you don't have to organize emails. You don't have to make sure your payments are coming in because they're telling you right when you log on. One thing about the payments is that it does take a fee from you, but the fee is not that big, and it's completely worth it in my opinion with how much Honeybook does for you. I think it's like maybe like 3% or something of each payment, which isn't the end of the world in my opinion. But if you are still taking e-transfers, you can manually go in and update your invoice, but I do not recommend doing that. I think that's super unprofessional. So yeah, if you have any more questions about Honeybook, or if you want to see what else it does, something specific, please let me know. I am always happy to help or answer questions as people are setting their Honeybook up. So please don't hesitate to reach out, whether it's through Instagram or an email or whatever. Yeah, I hope this was helpful. And if you do decide to use Honeybook, please use my code. I would appreciate it so much. It gives me a little bit of money in my pocket. And then you can also help people use it once you have it and make some money yourself. Okay, thank you so much, guys. Talk to you soon.